Have you ever heard of the name Thomas HAZLEHURST? Probably not. He's not a king, a general, or a famous artist. He was a soap maker. And his story from over 200 years ago holds a powerful message that is more relevant today than ever before. Our story begins in early 19th century England. Thomas HAZLEHURST was born in 1779 into a world that was rapidly changing. The Industrial Revolution was kicking into high gear. Now, Thomas wasn't born with a silver spoon. He started out as a humble tallow chandler's apprentice, which is basically a fancy way of saying he learned how to make candles and soap from animal fat. But Thomas was different. He had a vision. He saw the grime and the dirt of industrial Britain, and he didn't just see a problem, he saw an opportunity. He believed that cleanliness wasn't a luxury for the rich, but a right for everyone. So he founded his own soap and alkali company in Runcorn, a small town that would soon become a chemical powerhouse. Now, making soap back then was a messy, difficult business, but Thomas was an innovator. He tirelessly experimented with new chemical processes, particularly with alkali, a key ingredient in soap. He built massive chemical works with towering chimneys that belched smoke into the sky. His business boomed. He became incredibly wealthy, one of the richest men in the region. He built a grand mansion, a castle-like home called Halton Grange. And this is where the story usually ends for most successful industrialists, right? Build an empire, live in luxury, the end. But not for Thomas HAZLEHURST. This is where his story takes a fascinating turn. You see, Thomas was a deeply religious man, a devout Methodist, and his faith wasn't just something for Sundays. He genuinely believed that his wealth was not his own, but a gift from God that he was meant to steward for the good of others. He looked at the town that had made him rich, and he saw the needs of the people. He saw poverty, a lack of education, and a need for community. So what did he do? He started building, but he wasn't building more factories. He started building churches and chapels, lots of them. He funded the construction of at least 12 chapels and 3 churches in the area. He didn't just write a check, he was personally involved, often laying the first stone himself. He built schools to educate the children of his workers. He built community halls. He poured his fortune back into the very community that had helped him build it. His contemporaries called him the chapel builder. He literally transformed the landscape of his town, not just with industry, but with faith and community. When he died in 1842, his funeral was one of the largest the town had ever seen. Thousands of people, workers, families, community members lined the streets to pay their respects, not just to a wealthy boss, but to a man who had genuinely cared for them. So what's the message from the soap maker's story? It's this: success isn't about what you accumulate for yourself. It's about what you contribute to others. Thomas HAZLEHURST used the profits from something as ordinary